is Mr. Ted Metz. Okay?
Thank you, Nina. Let's give Nina another hand for being such a wonderful attorney and also providing this fantastic auditorium for us today. And let's give another round of applause for the general. He's got a great message. Friend, he's right. We in government are people that have faith in their heart and have fidelity to the Constitution and the rule of law. And also have a little bit of idea of how chain of command is supposed to work, and also how to delegate authority, as well as everything else that he said. I mean, that was a great speech. Thanks again. All right. Again, I am Ted Metz. I am running for Secretary of State. And the reason I'm running was because I have been an election integrity since 2012. I've been the countable of the state election board. Some people may know me. Some people may have seen me. I've been an integral part of voter GEA. I have filed lawsuits against the state, against Raffensperger or Dace Kemp. I've been at all the Curley versus Raffensperger trials, and I have been doing legal research since 2014 into the Georgia Election Code. And I'm here to tell you, they're not doing it right. I was at the SCP meeting yesterday. Did anyone watch the SCP meeting last night? Or yesterday, during the day? Or you watch it later on YouTube? No? Well, I'm here to tell you, it was quite a meeting. One of the things that I got to tell the SCE, the whole board, was that during a case known as Pearson E. Kemp, the Secretary of State's office admitted to the court that the Secretary of State has absolutely no authority to tell the county boards of elections how to run their job. And that's what I'm running on. I'm running on the fact that the Secretary of State's office has no authority to tell counties how to run elections. It's the law. It's Title 21 in the Georgia Official Code of Georgia. If more people understood what was actually in the Official Code of Georgia, we would have gotten rid of the electronic voting systems a long time ago. In fact, if the legislators had known what was in the election code, they never would have voted for it. In fact, Nina Totenberg and Curley versus Raffensperger in 2020, October the 20th, ruled that our election system was not constitutional. It's not constitutional because it's not auditable, it's not verifiable, and it's not run in any kind of human, visual, publicly transparent manner. I am a firm advocate for Ann Mark Baker-Rallis. I got 8 minutes. What's that say? No, okay, we'll drive in. So again, paper ballots is the way we ran our nation ever since the Pilgrims got here in 1620. It's not hard. How many people can count? I can count. There's a system for paper balloting known as the countable system, ACOUNTABLE. It's on my website, tedmetz.com. I had the video of how a paper ballot election actually should run. It's in our Georgia law. It's the Official Code of Georgia, Title 21-2-437, that describes the procedure of hand counting and tallying an election. Again, done it for hundreds of years until Rushdie Gore and the whole Hain Chad incident. It was all set up to take us away from the transparent, publicly viewable elections into a system that no one could see what was happening behind their curtains. I'm here to tell you, I'm going to pull the curtains open because everyone should be able to observe public counting of the votes. All right, so that's just one aspect of the Secretary of State's office. You'll hear a lot of candidates talking about all these different departments within the Secretary of State's office: business licensing, professional licensing, investigations, and a few others. And the thing about all those positions, all those departments, all of them are ruled by Georgia law. The Secretary of State really is just like a supervisor. He can't legislate, he can't change things. He has to apply the law and has to comply with the law. I'm saying this because a lot of candidates are giving you like these huge, big plans about what they're going to do. that they have no legislative or legal authority to do. And I am, again, I'm a huge nerd on knowing what the law is and knowing how to implement the law. So my whole thing goes back to my early childhood, learning Constitution, being a Boy Scout, do my online IRL, do my duty, do my best to God, my country. I have lived my entire life like that. Everything in my lifetime has led me up to this point where people actually pushed me to run for this position in this, I wasn't planning to run. Whatever anybody says, I can say, I'm not going to do this. I'm retired, I'm done. And then I was stopped into it by some strong Republican leaders from the executive committee. I can't name names because they asked me not to. So here I am. I'm running as a Republican for the Secretary of State position. There's a lot of information about me on my website, tedmetz.com. That's tedmtc.com. I'm really kind of like a fun, joyful, God-loving, God-fearing kind of a guy. I'm a grandfather. And I think it's very important. Of course, we're looking at our 250th anniversary for our separation from you to get away from a tyrannical government. In the last 250 years, especially in the last 50, it seems like our country just falling apart. It's grown more tyrannical. We have people from the left pushing us to give up our American values. America was built as a God-appearing of constitutional republic, a rule of law kind of a nation. We were based on the Ten Commandments. Has anyone seen the Ten Commandments in a public building like me? I haven't, and I look for it every time. So what my old plan is, when I am elected as the Secretary of State with your vote, I hope, I pray, is that I'm going to take a look at the processes and procedures within the Secretary of State's office. Once again, it's time to train the county election officials on how to run lawful constitutional elections. One thing that everyone has missed lately, and I filed in my last lawsuit against the state, is the constitutional or the federal preemption on elections. That code is 2 United States Code number 9 that says all elections for our congressmen are to be on written or paper ballots marked in pencil or pen or by machine. All other methods of your ballot count. Now, this was an 1899 law, and in 1899 they had the letter machine. You don't have letter machines. You've got this crazy system that is completely devoid of the human interaction other than punching a few buttons. That's not an election. That is something completely different. So with knowing that we have a federal preemption for federal elections to be on paper, marked in pencil or pen, it is extremely easy as Secretary of State to tell the counties that we're going to have elections under the federal preemptive law, because that's how you maintain our Constitution. That's how we retain our republic. So that's that part. The other thing about me, I grew up, I was an Air Force brat. I guess I'm still an Air Force brat. And I lived all over the country. I got to learn a lot of things on history, Linder. I was in the Navy. I learned electronics. I've been doing database administration, building out computers since literally 1980s. So I know about this electronic stuff. I know how easy it is to hack. I know how easy it is to manipulate your database. We need to get rid of, what's that? Sweet. Okay. So beyond that, I've also been in business. I am an entrepreneur, and I have built huge businesses that grown from zero to over $15 to $20 million a year. I'm also a financial planner. So every aspect of the Secretary of State's office, I have been led by following the path laid out for me by my Savior Jesus Christ to this point. And here I am letting you know that I am the most logical, the most experienced, the best candidate for Secretary of State for the 2026 cycle. So please vote for me. Thank you very much.